Welcome back to another very exciting episode of Modern Motors. Today we're doing finally what you guys have asked, a how-to video on change your oils and spark plugs. But today with a little bit of a twist, we have Tristan and Matt from 3 Cross Garages here. They're gonna show you how to do it the certified mechanic way.
The better way.
So if you guys don't know who Tristan and Matt are, I'm sure you guys don't. Tristan and Matt own 3 Cross Garages. Tristan is an actual Alfa owner. He used to work at Alfa Romeo of Plano. Tristan and Matt are the newest sponsors of the Modern Motors channel. We are going to be working closely together to show you guys how to do some really cool stuff, like maybe potentially a hybrid turbo the right way, because I know there's not a lot of videos out there, but also your basic maintenance, brakes, oil changes. I could show you guys, like I said, but I'm gonna do it the Ricky way, and I don't think that's the right way to show thousands of you guys. I'm sure Tristan has had some critiques about some of my videos. But anyways, they are the DFW mobile mechanics for everything that you could possibly need. The dealer network is a little wishy-washy, so hopefully you guys can get service right to your front door with 3 Cross Garages. And I wouldn't have put them out there and vouch for them if they didn't do honest work. And I've been talking to Tristan and Matt, and they are very knowledgeable on a lot of cool stuff. If you guys want a specific video to be done the proper way, feel free to put it in the description, and me and Tristan and Matt will work on it for you guys and make something happen. Here's the thing, is we know that a lot of you guys watch. We have a very reoccurring 1,000 to 2,000 people watching, and there's not a lot of resources out there. So when we say we want to do it the proper way, we can get the job done for sure. But we'd rather have us, you know, Alpha mechanic or somebody certified to show you guys the proper way. And it's a good resource for the channel and for the Alpha community, because again, there's not a lot of people that work on these cars. And if you do not do it yourself and you take it to the dealer, there's a high probability that they charge a lot of money. Like this oil change, very simple. Spark plugs, very simple. Save yourself a ton of money, and hopefully this channel can help you build some confidence to do that yourself.
To start your spark plug replacement, first thing you need to do is remove your engine cover. So I'm using a pick to remove the engine cover. You can use a screwdriver, or if you have a trim tool like this, you can use that as well. There's going to be 10 millimeters down here. I know some models have some Torx fasteners, but usually they're 10 millimeters. So go ahead and take those 10s out. So we went ahead and took the strut brace off. We'll go ahead and take this engine cover off. There's a line that sits right here. A lot of y'all's is going to be very brittle, so just be careful, because if you break that line, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Go ahead and remove this. One thing to note before you start, there's gray clips right here on this connector where the coils connect to the connector. One thing that I like to do and have found works the best is to go ahead and take a pick and just push that down in there and turn. You got to be careful, because they will break, and then you won't have anything that's actually locking your connector to your coil. This is where your coils are. So this is coil number 4, coil number 3, coil number 2, and coil number 1. And then we need to go ahead and take these 10 millimeter bolts out that are holding the coils onto the valve cover. This shouldn't be too tight, just be careful with them, and you shouldn't have any issues. We go ahead and pull these coils out gently. I usually like to set them up here just so that they're out of the way. This one's going to be a little bit tough. You kind of want to pull it back this way while also pulling up. That way you can make sure you clear this this hose right here. And this one's a little bit tough to get out. One should be a cakewalk. So in order to take the spark plugs out, we're going to use a 5/8 spark plug socket. It's got a magnet in it, so it will hold on to the spark plug, you know, as you try to take it out or put it back in. That's pretty important. Don't just use your standard 5/8. It doesn't work very well. You're going to want to put an extension on there. Usually I like about a 9-inch extension. It's about the right length. It's just my personal preference. Just kind of turn it so that you can feel it kind of lock into place. You'll feel it have a little bit of resistance starting to come out, and then you should feel it start to get a lot easier. If it's hard to get out all the way out, stop. Go back the other way, because there may be some issue with threading, and you might want to find somebody who's you know, does it every day, does it for a day job, give you a second opinion so that you don't end up hurting your car. They're kind of bad. About 60,000 miles on these plugs. The factory spec is 60,000 miles. I personally, and at the dealer, we changed them at 40,000. Obviously you don't want your plugs to be really bad when you pull them out. It's not the best idea in my opinion. So that's kind of when I do it. We'll go ahead and go back in with the new ones. It's a fairly straightforward process. It's pretty straightforward. Take them out of the box. They've got a little cardboard thing that usually stays in the box. Looks like that. And it ships like this to protect the electrode. So you'll just go ahead and pull that off and just install it just like this. You don't have to check your gap on these plugs. I would highly recommend that if the gap is incorrect, if you decide you want to check them and the gap is incorrect, do not adjust it. These are iridium spark plugs. If you try to adjust it, there's a possibility that because this is somewhat brittle, it's hard, but it's very brittle. So if you adjust it, there's a possibility that you could end up microfracturing this anode. And if it breaks off in your engine, it would be a bad day. If you buy it from the dealer and it didn't come gapped correctly, you can always bring it back to them. You can show them that the gap is incorrect. They may verify that, and they should replace it for free. So we're just gonna go ahead and put them in our socket just like this. You should be able to lower them down. That magnet will hold it in place. Always start your spark plugs by hand. That's very important. These threads are aluminum. This is an aluminum head, which means that it's very soft. For whatever reason you cross thread them, you're going to have, it's going to be a major repair trying to get that fixed. You should be able to feel the crush ring crush, so you'll feel some resistance. So you can do these hand tight, or you can do them by feel. That's how most people do them. But if you really want to do it to a torque spec, it's 168 inch-pounds. You're gonna need a torque wrench to achieve that. They're a little pricey, but you can also rent them from AutoZone, and it's fairly affordable. So once you've got the spark plugs put in, you can go ahead and put the coils back in. You can do it in any order you like, but just make sure that you hand tighten all of your bolts. Don't torque anything down until you've got everything hand started, and I like to snug them down just to make sure nothing gets stripped out or cross-threaded. Once you get the coil in, you can go ahead and push this connector in, and then just make sure that you push this little tab in. Sometimes it's kind of hard, but once that clicks in, you know that the connector's locked in place like it's supposed to be.
All right, to start your oil change on here, you're gonna need to jack up the car. So you're gonna need 2 jack stands, kind of like these Daytona 3 tons. That'll be fine. Then we're gonna need to get under the car, and there is some actual jack points under there. They're these plastic squares. You'll see them under there. And these are your jack points right here. These kind of like plastic rectangular square looking things. All right, so we're gonna take care of the oil on here. Takes 5.5 quarts of 0W30. You can get this straight from the dealer. You wanna make sure that it's an API SP, Synthetic Plus. And then of course, here's the part number right here if you need that part number right there in the blue. It's the US part number. We're also gonna be using an MO339 filter. You can also get that straight from the dealer. Next thing you wanna do is take your oil cap off. So it'll make it easier to bleed your oil out of the drain pipe. Okay, so you're gonna definitely wanna get a drain pan. I got this one straight from AutoZone or O'Reilly's. You can get them pretty cheap, $10, $15. Let's get that under the car. On the under tray, there's gonna be T25 and T27 bolts down here. You just gotta take them all out, take the under tray out, and then we can get started on the oil. When you get underneath the car, you'll need a 13mm wrench or a socket to remove the oil drain plug. Make sure we got our oil drain here. All right, so you do not, this should not be what your filter looks like when you take it out. But due to this thing being totally over tightened, that's what has to happen. And of course we get called out to do stuff like this. So hire the right person. That's all I really care to say about that. Here's that 339 again, that filter. Make sure these seals up top right here, a lot of people miss this step. Take some oil and just rub it around that gasket ring right there before you install it. You can use new oil. I'm gonna use this oil and just roll it right around that filter. Notice it was kind of dry. Now it's gonna slide into place nice and easy. The thread's on nice and straight. It's just at a little, probably like a 45-degree angle. Spinner on. All right, so here's that 0W30 straight from Mopar. Just pour in 5.5 quarts. And we're gonna free it. it. There we go. Beautiful.
On the off chance that you did not follow along and this video was a little confusing, I hope it wasn't, but if it was, you guys can go ahead and get the instructions down in the description right here below. We've typed everything out for you guys, so in case you're more of a reader instead of a visual learner, you guys have all the instructions right there. So again, let us know if you have any other assistance or questions. You guys can reach out to 3 Cross Garages down in the description if you need some assistance, but they got you covered.
In order to reset the oil light, we use an Altel scanner. In the description, we have all the steps on the multi-ECU scanner, so if you have that at home, you can use that as well.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully this empowers you to do your oil change and spark plugs by yourself at home. On the off chance that you do not want to do it and you want to, in your DFW area, want to hire 3 Cross Garage, we talked, and they're going to be offering the same price for first-time customers at $180, same price as Fort Worth. So if you guys wanted to book them straight to your door, $180, first-time customers, you guys can get any of their information down below in the description, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And before we end it, if there's anything else that you guys want to see on this channel for basic maintenance needs, put it in the description. I'm not going to do stuff like fuel pump. If my fuel pump's not out, I'm only going to do stuff as we need it, but definitely note some stuff down for you guys. And me and Tristan and Matt will work on it for you guys and make something happen, right?
Yeah, you said the proper way. Not us.
No, don't do it our way. What else?